Hello, motorsport fans all over the world. This is Motorsport Progression, and I'm bringing you another video. On this video, I want to talk about the rear wings, the rear wing controversy that's going on in Formula 1 at the moment. That's what I want to touch on because there's been some controversy about the Red Bull Racing's rear wing in Formula 1 from the Spanish Grand Prix. After qualifying, Lewis Hamilton was saying to the press that he thought Red Bull had a new rear wing. So basically, in free practice 1 and free practice 2 at the Spanish Grand Prix, Red Bull was nowhere. They were struggling, and then they put on a new rear wing with a little bit of a change in the center of gravity and a bit higher. The middle part was a little bit higher, the little curves. So in free practice 3 qualifying and the race, Red Bull had much more pace and they had much more straight line speed. So the Mercedes was right that Red Bull had a new rear wing, but the rear wing was flexing according to the team, to Lewis Hamilton. He said that the Red Bull rear wing was flexing, which means it was moving up and down. And in Formula 1, yeah, most aerodynamic parts of the car, like the front wing and the rear wing, yeah, and the floor and the side pods and stuff, and those aerodynamic items, they're not supposed to flex. They're not supposed to have movement on them, because when they have movement on them, that gives them an advantage. When you have a slightly movement, it disrupts the air a little bit, and then you can go a bit faster depending on how you set up your car. So the controversy is going on, and then it says in Article 3.8 of the technical regulations, it says that components influencing a car's aerodynamic performance, such as front and rear wings, must be rigidly secured to the entire sprung of the car and remain immobile in relation to the sprung of the car. So the front and the rear wing has to be stuck to the sprung on the car and remain immobile in relation to the sprung of the car. So when the car's moving, when the car's moving on a bump, let's say you brake on a bump here and the car's moving up and down, the front ring and the rear ring should be so strong that it shouldn't move at all. That's what they're trying to say. Well, they got tolerance in it. So basically, you have certain amount of tolerances is allowed to move, but it's not allowed to move so much that the camera on the TV can see it. And it says, in other words, movable or flexible aerodynamic devices are not allowed, save for DRS, because in theory they can offer a performance gain. So no parts that can gain you an advantage is allowed on a Formula 1 car that flexes, only DRS. DRS is the drag reduction system, which helps you overtake here. That's punching a hole in the rear wing and making the car planted a bit more and give you extra 15 kilometer speed to overtake your opponent. So to make sure, yeah, the FIA, because the teams have been complaining, the FIA said they're gonna produce new rigidity tests on the Formula 1 cars. So what's happening is they say that in France, yeah, so that was in Spain. The next race was in Monaco. They didn't introduce those tests. And the next race is in Azerbaijan. Those tests are not going to come. Those tests are going to come in the French Grand Prix at Paul Ricard. In the French Grand Prix at Paul Ricard. That's when those tests are going to come in. So when those tests come in, that's when we'll see if Red Bull had an advantage or not. And they saying they could lose up to 0.5 tenths, 0.5 of a tenth on the main straights on the Red Bull. So we're seeing if that makes a difference to the Alfa Romeo, the Red Bull, and other teams as well. So moving on, they're saying that the FIA plan to introduce test at a Paul Ricard circuit, load and deflection test, and then they're gonna introduce that, and let's see how it works then. So moving on, Christian Horner, the team principal of Red Bull Racing, he was saying that um he saw Lewis Hamilton's comments, yeah, when Lewis said the Red Bulls are fast on the straights. They have this bendy wing on the back of their car, which they put on today, and they gain at least 3 temps from this wing. This is Lewis Hamilton talking after the qualifying session in the Spanish Grand Prix, and Christian Horner hit back here at the next race. I think it was in Monaco, and he said, "Look, I saw the comments. Of course, the car is scrutinized thoroughly, and there's fallback tests, all kinds of different tests it has to pass." It says the FIA are completely happy with the car, that it passed all of the tests that are pretty stringent. So I was surprised to see his comment. So what Christian Horner was saying, that the Red Bull has passed all the tests, and Sergio Perez's car was scrutinized after the race in at the Spanish Grand Prix, and it was found to pass the test. But that's when the car is stationary. We're talking about the car under speed and under load. So he says the FIA are completely happy with the car, that he has passed all the tests that are pretty stringent. So I was surprised to see his comments on that. But it was something that Toto Wolff has mentioned to me previously. So I doubt it was Lewis's opinion. It probably came from somewhere else. So Christian Horner, the team principal of Red Bull Racing, was saying that he doubts that that was Lewis Hamilton's idea to come out with those comments about the flexible rear wing of the Red Bull. He said that Toto Wolff, yeah, the owner of Mercedes Benz, has come to him and commented on that particular subject, saying, "Hey, look, your rear wings are moving, and then probably Christian just shrugged it off in it. So it is a serious thing in Formula One. You can't have an advantage by having. You can have a better innovation, but it has to be within the rules. Like last year, Mercedes had a DAS system, that's the dual axis steering system, which was a steering system which helped the drivers move the car, steering frontwards, backwards, and upwards and downwards to give them better tire warm up, better tire performance, and then it probably give them a little bit more better braking and stuff like that. So the DAS system was banned after as soon as it was released, it was banned. Yeah, you could not use it for this season. So that's another subject. So basically, Red Bull's rear wing and Alfa Romeo, I think Aston Martin has a flexible rear wing as well. I'm not too sure. So there's a few teams that have flexible wings. So that's going to be a controversy. And then let's see after the French Grand Prix at the Paul Ricard how the new rigidity test affects the performance of the Red Bull, the Alfa Romeo, and a couple of other teams in Formula One. And then moving on. So moving on, the reason why they gave them 2 races from the Spanish Grand Prix to design new rear wings is that they wanted to give them time so they would be able to change the design without not in a short notice of time, but with a good gap, so they can design it and then basically come up with a performance. So peeps, moving on. Basically, Mercedes is not happy with the timing of the test. They would have liked it to be earlier. But even Toto Wolff, the team leader of Mercedes AMG Petronas, he was saying that they have to change their front wing as well. And Christian Horner, the team principal of Red Bull, was saying if you put a camera on the front wing of the Mercedes, it's flexing as well, it's moving around. And McLaren is not happy with the timing of the test as well, because they don't have an advantage. So it's very controversial, and I'm looking forward to what comes out of it. Thank you.